Hi guys, Casper MMA here, and today we're back with another LFA predictions video on the channel. Today, my predictions for LFA 217 McKee versus Nobre. Now, last week it was a 216 LFA card. We did pretty well on picks. We only got 2 wrong. The main event, I picked Silver. She got subbed, I think, by Bertolso. And then also I picked Elias to win, and he gassed out after round 1. So, rest of the card, really good. Got some underdog picks in there as well. So, should have made profit if you follow my tips. And this week, we've got a pretty good card. 217. It looks decent, so I'm looking forward to giving my picks. But before I do that, make sure you guys are new around here and you're enjoying this content, you go down below and hit the subscribe button. It's free and it's really appreciated. So, there's a total of 15 fights on this week's card, but the first 3 are amateur fights, so we're just going to skip past them, get to the professionals, and we kick things off with the first fight of the night, which is Trembley versus Verdinez Zadnipryanyi. Now, that is a mouthful of a name. The Ukrainian man, Zadnipryanyi, is 2-2 in MMA. The Ukrainian man, he lost to his first ever fight to Yusuf Zalal, who's in the UFC, obviously. Lost that to submission. Then he won 2 wins in a row, but then also lost his last fight by submission again. So he's not a good fan of submissions. This guy, he's been choked out twice, but he's 2-2 in total. Trembley, on the other hand, is 4-0, undefeated, 30 years old American man, currently 3-0 in the LFA and 1 win outside. All of his wins have come. He's got 3 wins by rear naked choke and then 1 win by KO. So he looks good. All finishes, all of his wins. So this is a pretty easy pick. I'm pretty sure this fight got rescheduled. He's meant to fight someone else, but he's now fighting Zadnipryanyi, and Trembley is going to win by submission. Now, we move up the card to Mitchell Wilson versus Alejendre. Now, both of these guys are 0-0 professional records, so both making their professional debut here, but Mitchell Wilson 6-2 as an amateur. I mean, I've definitely picked one of his fights as an amateur in one of my other cards. I must have done the amateur fight for some reason, but I just remember making a prediction video about him. But he lost by round 1 KO in, I'm pretty sure, that prediction video I did about him. But since then he came back with a win this year by submission, in January. So he's 6-2 as an amateur, so it's not bad. He's got quite a few good wins, to be fair. A couple by decision, a couple by finish as well. Alejendre, on the other hand, is 1-2 in amateur. Won his first fight, but then lost 2 in a row, both by submission, and now he's fighting professionally. So I'm going to have to back Mitchell Wilson to win this one. He's fought in LFA amateur before on some cards, and he looks alright, so I'm going to back Wilson to get the decision. And now we move up the card to Isaiah Gomez versus Adam Poulin. Now, Gomez also making his professional debut here. Is 0-0, but he's only 24 years of age, 5-0 amateur career as well, and all 5 of his wins have come by KO. Most of them in round 1 as well. He looks pretty dangerous. Got some alright wins, to be fair. This guy, 5 wins, 5 KOs, can't really knock him for that. His opponent, Adam Poulin, is 1-0 professionally. He's 26 years old. Won his first fight by submission, so not too bad there against a guy making his debut as well. And also not a bad amateur career as well. Quite a few round 1 KOs himself. So it could go either way. This one, both these guys very inexperienced, but I'm going to back Gomez, the newcomer here, to get the win by KO. And now we move up to Kelton Sneve versus David McKinney. Now, Sneve, the Canadian man, 3-1, 25 years old. He's a good fighter, to be fair. I mean, he was on a 3-fight winning streak, 3-0. Then he did lose his last fight, an LFA 200 by split decision, but also to another undefeated guy. So I still think he's decent. Only lost 1 fight in his career by split decision. His opponent, David McKinney, on the other hand, is a 6-5 American man, 33 years old. Has lost most of his fights by KO. He's got 4 wins by KO, but also 4 losses. Got KO'd in round 1 last November. That was his last fight. Wasn't a 3-fight win streak before that, but he's been finished quite a few times in his career. I mean, quite a lot of them were early on, but he's still kept it up. He's being KO'd in his last fight. So I feel like this should be a pretty easy fight for Sneve here. I just feel like he's got the better record, and I feel like Sneve wins by KO. And now we move up to Isaiah Pinson versus Glendale Whitney. Now, Pinson is 4-1, 30 years old. Has fought in PFL and Bellator before coming to LFA. Was 3-0 in to start his career. Does have win over Denzel Freeman. To be fair, I think that's his only loss in his career. Now, I think he's the LFA champ and something at the minute. I'm not sure, but yeah, he got a split decision win over him in PFL. But then lost to Abraham Bradley, who is a decent fighter. To be fair, then came to the LFA. LFA won with a KO in round number 2 in his last fight this year. So I do think that Pinson is a decent fighter. Got some decent wins in his career. His opponent, Glendale Whitney, on the other hand, he's a 3-0, 33 years old American man. All of his wins have came by finish in round number 1, 2 wins by KO, 1 win by rear naked choke in his last fight. His opponents have a total combined record of 1-7, so not like he's fighting the best of opponents really. He's still a decent fighter, to be fair, but not really fought anyone good. So I'm backing Pinson to get this job done. I feel like it should be an easy fight for him, and I reckon Pinson gets the KO. And now we move up to a women's fight on the card. Christina Brador versus Mackenzie Stiller. Now, Brador is a 3-1 American woman, 33 years of age. All of her fights have been in the LFA in her career. She's lost 1 split decision back in 2023, but around that, she has 2 wins by decision and 1 win by rear naked choke. Her last win came this year by decision, so she's not too bad of a fighter, to be fair. Her opponent, Mackenzie Stiller, on the other hand, is 4-1 American woman, only 26 years old, so the younger fighter. Her only loss came Bellator to Inaba, who is a pretty decent fighter, to be fair. But around that, she has 1 win in the LFA, which was a win by submission. She's got 3 wins by armbar in her career, which is pretty impressive, to be fair. Definitely a threat in that sense. And yeah, I do think this fight could go either way. Both these women are not too bad fighters, but I'm going to back Stiller to win this one. I like how she's got 3 armbars. I reckon she might get one here, so I'm going to back Stiller to win by submission. And now we move up the card to Santos Verdinez versus Alex Coover. Now, Santos Verdinez is a 7-2 American man, 30 years old. Quite a good fighter, 5-1 in total in the LFA. Has fought in some different promotions as well in between his stint in the LFA, but in total, he's a pretty good fighter. Has 1 loss. He got KO'd this year by head kick, which is not that great, but he came back and won in his last fight in April. Won that by round 2 KO. So overall, he's quite good. He's got 3 wins by submission, 2 wins by KO, 2 wins by decision. So he's a well-rounded fighter. I do like Verdinez. Alex Coover, on the other hand, is a 9-3 record, 28 years old American man. He's on a pretty good run at the minute. He's on 1, 2, 3, 4, a 6-fight winning streak, I think, at the minute. His last loss was a round 1 KO back in 2023, but around that, he looks good. All of his wins have came by finish. 4 KO wins, 5 wins by submission. He hasn't fought that great of opponents, really. Some of the records of the guys he's got wins over, his last guy he beat was 9-29, got the round 1 KO though, so got the job done. His last 4, all of his last 6 fights have all finished in the first round, so he's pretty good. But I don't think he's going to be able to finish Verdinez in the first round, which is I just can't see it happening. So I'm going to back Verdinez to get this job done, and I reckon he might get the KO. And now we move up the card to Joey Hart versus Christian Turner. Now, Joey Hart obviously was on the Contender Series a bit ago. I think it was last year. I think it was literally a year ago, next week or something. He lost by a split decision, and neither of these fighters got signed to the UFC. But he came back to the LFA, lost by KO in round number 1, but to a good opponent, Chris Mixon. But then he finally got a win in April, got the round 2 doctor stoppage. So overall, he's still a pretty dangerous fighter. All 7 of Joey Hart's wins have came by KO, many of them in round number 1 as well. So he's a very dangerous man. He's a good fighter, just didn't quite make it on the Contender Series. Christian Turner is an 8-2 American man, 23 years old, so quite young. Is on a really good run at the minute. 5-fight winning streak. Nearly all of the fights ending by finish, apart from one he won by decision. Has 2 losses in the LFA, which I suppose he wasn't really ready for like higher level competition, because I mean he's not really fighting the best guys in these other promotions. But I still think he's a good fighter. Lost to Jacoby Jones, who's quite good, and lost another decision in the LFA, but that was back in 2023. So he's had some time to improve. So I feel like this should be a good fight here. Could go either way. Both these guys are pretty good fighters. But you know what? I'm going to back Joey Hart. He got a win in his last fight. I feel like he's going to come back as well in this fight and get the KO. And now we move up the card to where Bobby Lee versus Nikita Kulshin. Now, Bobby Lee is a 15-9 American man, 29 years old. So has quite a lot of fights, to be fair, in his career. Was 6-5 in total in his time in the LFA. I mean, he obviously has been in and out. He's been in Bellator for a bit. Didn't do that well in Bellator. Went 0-3, which is impressive, to be fair. Didn't win any of his fights, but he has some not too bad wins on his record. I mean, one of his last wins in like 2022 was a win over Gage Young, who's obviously in the UFC now, and he won his last fight, I think. But most his career's basically just like loss win. He never really gets a big streak going, apart from like the start of his career, Bobby Lee. So overall, he's not a bad fighter, but has lost quite a few times. On the other hand, Kulshin has never lost. He's a 7-0 Russian man, 25 years of age. Most wins come by decision. He's got 5 wins by decision, 1 KO win, 1 submission win. He's currently 4-0 in the LFA, with some alright wins as well, to be fair. And you know what? He's just a Russian guy. He looks good. So I'm going to be picking him. He's undefeated. He's Russian. I reckon Kulshin wins by decision. And now we move up the card to where Cheyanne Bowers versus Maritza Sanchez. Now, another women's fight. Bowers is a 6-2 in total, 31 years of age. She actually did win the belt back in 2024. I remember making a prediction video. That was one of my first ever LFA prediction videos, I think. She beat Borisova. That was impressive. Got the round 1 armbar win, but then lost a split decision to Shannon Clark. Lost the belt there, but came back with a win in April this year by round 1 submission again. So I do like Bowers. She's only got 1 win by decision, and for a women's fighter, that's impressive. Most of the wins come by submission, 1 KO as well. So she's quite dangerous. Maritza Sanchez, on the other hand, is also 6-2, so the same record. American woman, 27 years old. Did lose by submission in her last fight, but before that, she was on like a 6-fight winning streak, I think. Quite a few good wins. Has a few KO wins on her record. Did lose her first ever fight by submission as well. But I do think she's had some good wins. But I think that Bowers is going to be too good for Sanchez in this fight, and I reckon Bowers gets the submission. And now we move up to the co-main event: Gable Steveson versus Braden Peterson. Now, obviously, Gable Stevenson's MMA debut in this fight. I mean, he's obviously 0-0. He's 25 years old, American man. Obviously, I'm looking at his Tapology page. There's nothing to look at. You obviously know he's a wrestler, a good one as well. Is he like a gold medalist? Didn't do my fact checks, but I'm pretty sure he is, something like that. And you know what? He's pretty good wrestler. Does translate well into MMA. To be fair, if you're a good wrestler, you go pretty far. But I mean, unless you're like Bo Nickel and you just come to a halt because you can't strike. Braden Peterson, on the other hand, is 1-0 in MMA, 37 years old. So he's quite old to only have 1 fight in MMA, but he got a round 1 KO this year in July over some random guy who was 0-3. Has a couple of amateur fights as well, to be fair. All finished wins. Got finished once as well. So I'm pretty sure they've just handpicked an opponent for Gable Steveson, to be fair, to get a win here. You'd be probably pretty stupid to not pick Stevenson here. I don't know how he's going to get finished. I don't know if his submission game is that good, if he's going to KO him. But I'm just going to be safe, just in case he's shit in MMA. I'm going to back Stevenson to win by decision. And now we move up to the main event, Mitchell McKee versus Pedro Nobre. And Mitchell McKee is 9-0, 27 years old American man. He's just really good, isn't he? I mean, he's 7-0 in LFA, 1-0 in Bellator. Many wins by KO, 4 wins by decision as well. He's got on a 2-fight winning streak, both wins by decision. And before that, he got KO, another decision win. To start his career, like 4 wins by KO in a row. Mitchell McKee is a pretty good fighter. Pedro Nobre, on the other hand, he's 22-8-2, so 32 professional fights. 39 years old, so he's very old. Surprised he's still going. Was in the UFC a long time ago. Back in, when was he in the UFC? Like 2013, I think. He had like a 1 no contest via legal elbow or something like that, and then never came back. He got cut or like just left. I don't know what happened, but he went to different promotions. He's been around for ages. He's been finished quite a few times. I mean, there isn't much point in me going over his record. I mean, he's just fought a lot of people, won quite a few, lost quite a few as well. I think this should be an easy win for Mitchell McKee. I mean, the age difference alone, Mitchell McKee is going to be faster and everything. I just feel that Mitchell McKee is going to win this one by KO. So there are my predictions for LFA 217. Let me know down in the comments if you agree or disagree with my picks. And that's all for today's video. If you guys enjoyed, maybe leave a like, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.